Hi 203, so today I'm going to just review with you iXL because I'm noticing that we're not getting a lot of the strands done, and those are super important because those are part of our classwork each day that they are assigned. So if there's days where you have a diagnostic assigned, we need to do that. If there's days there's strands assigned, we're going to also be working on those, okay? So I'm just going to remind you, you need to go to Clever, click on your iXL app and log in with Google. Once you're in there, you're going to see your learning, you're going to see your diagnostic and your analytics, okay? If it is a day that you need to do 20 minutes on your diagnostic, then you need to click on diagnostic and you need to enter the arena. Make sure that the pull down on the top right is only on that subject, if it's math or if it's language arts. As you can see, as teachers, we can actually see exactly who went on Friday for math and who didn't, and we can kind of see the amount of time and your skill levels where you fall, okay, and what strands that you can work on to help you. So unfortunately, we're not in the classroom that we can kind of show you this one-to-one, so I'm going to try showing you this again through your video. Also, something that's really important is that when you go to learning on the side, you can look at recommendations. Click on that. And over here, it will show you that you have 23 skills or 30 skills that your teachers are recommending for you. So that could be from your challenge teachers, and it can also be from Mrs. Caroleo or myself, okay? You're going to click on that. I'm under Cole's name for right now, and you'll see all the different skills that are assigned for you based on your diagnostic assessment or based on what your teachers feel like you need to continue to work on. So something that I want to show you as well is, for example, I'm going to show you Gabe. I'm going to use you as an example here. There are different skills that may take you different amounts of time. So to do certain amount of problems. And what I mean by that is if we say for you to go on and complete 15 minutes of iXL, that may look different if I'm multiplying by 9 and I'm just doing some multiplication fact review, because in 15 minutes I could probably get like 30 of those problems done, even more, okay? But if I'm doing a skill like multiplying, let me go back to Gabe again, a 2 times a 2-digit number, and I need to have paper and pencil out to help me, then maybe I would only get about 7 problems done in 15 minutes. So this may be a little bit more, okay? But I'm going to have paper and pencil out next to me. Same thing for ELA. But as you can see, when I go to recommendations, all my skills are over to the right that are starred for me. Most of the time, the strands that we post on your checklist will be already assigned for you in here. So take a look. If it has a book next to it, that means it's for ELA. If it has the triangular prism, that means it's for math. But if you scroll down, you may also see ones that have a globe on it, or a, oops, let me go back to Gabe, or a science one, because that means your challenge teacher has assigned it for you, okay? So if I look at Gabe's, for example, I can look at his skills. I can see that either, oh, hold on, Mrs. Stashik assigned it to him, or I can go down and I can see that Mrs. Massaro has assigned him a skill. Okay, you can see her name will pop up there. So your challenge teachers may have assigned you skills as well. And it doesn't always mean they're at the bottom, because as you can see, there are some at the bottom that are ELA that we also have assigned for Gabe. Okay, and they're very specific to just what you need. If you are not sure, you can always go to the top and you can type your skill in here. So if I have a code like A7Z, I'm going to actually just wait a second and let it hover underneath, and then I'm going to click on this. But this is a really good example of how maybe reading this one story could take me a long time, and in 15 minutes I may have to read this story. It's a pretty long story, and maybe I will only get a couple of questions done in that time period. So a lot of times you'll read one story and all of the questions are about that one story. It's not like when I go to the next thing, it's a different story, okay? So you may have to answer like 4 questions just on that one story. Do not worry about this right here. The score, we don't want to worry about if it's out of 100. If you get 100, it'll take you a long time to get 100. If you do, great. But I don't want you to worry about that. However, up here, this is super important, okay? It shows you how much time you're spending on a question or how much time you're on. And that's really what we want to take a look at. So if you have independent work, that's for 30 minutes, and 15 minutes of that is for you to work on a specific task that we give you under classwork, but the other 15 minutes is for you to go on iXL and work on your skills. This is what we're talking about, either typing it in on the top, going to your recommendations here, and looking at your skill strands here. And that could be working on a mixture of skills or maybe just your math or just your ELA. There's also the diagnostic that you may have to work on. So this is going to be a very important part of your learning over the next couple of days. And then, I'm sorry, the next couple of weeks.